What up, people? What up? What's going on? Ignorant Gamers in the house. And you already know this is Ask the Gamers episode 1 officially. The last video that we did was just the introduction, and we answered a bunch of leftover questions from as many videos as we've done that we didn't respond to. So that's why that one is like 20 minutes long. And for the first episode, we didn't get that many questions.
Right.
That's cool, but we want you to leave questions on this video, and then going forward, we're going to answer those. That's how we're doing it. You leave questions on the latest one, we answer in the next one. Alright? So the first question that we have on deck is from, is it Modern the King?
Modern the King.
Sony announced they have 30 exclusives in development for the PS4. 20 that are coming out in the first year. Any thoughts? Good question. I think the 20 that's coming out within the first year is an excellent idea, but could be a bunch of trial and error stuff, and maybe some nostalgia stuff coming back. We might see the return of Siphon Filter, which I think is exciting. We might see the return of more stuff from PS1. We might see some stuff come back as like arcade-like titles, like Reloaded, Loaded, and stuff like that. Maybe we'll see some of the early, fighting games, because it seems like the fighting market is picking up again.
Like what, Toshinden?
Stuff like that. Remember,
That'd be dope.
Remember, what was the other one? The one that was like, literally, you can die in the first second of a round. It was Battle Arena Toshinden, and then it was this one.
I'm drawing a blank. I'm thinking Virtual Fighter.
No. No, you can get your ass whipped in 5 seconds. But whatever that game is, I'm drawing a blank right now. I know it did something with a sword. It was pretty inventive back then. I think of the ones that we've seen, like the 1888 or whatever that game, the 1880 game. I think that's going to be a dope window.
Is Max an exclusive IP?
No.
Okay.
That's gonna go on both ends.
Okay.
I think it's just showing what happened. Sony learned a lesson from what happened before. When the P3 came out, people were saying from 2006 to 2007. Technically, really, they were saying from 2006 to 2008 that the PS3 didn't have no games. And I had a PS2. There was nothing I wanted to buy, so I'm not gonna argue with them. Alarms out the days. So I'm not going to argue with them and say that, people were wrong about it, With that said, they making sure this doesn't happen again. So
Correct.
At best, first year, you're getting 20 games. Usually, lineup launches with 25 games. They're saying that we're personally giving you 20 games out the gate.
That's a dope commitment. It's
a great commitment for those who want to play games and is going to own a P3. So I think this, a P4. So yeah,
it's a dope commitment.
It's a dope commitment. And I really appreciate it. How many of those games that I'm going to play? It might only be 5.
But it'd be good if you can get a lot of game flying in there.
I mean, if I can get a game flying in there, that'd be dope. But I'm saying like my personal interest to games that I care about,
right?
Or who that have piqued my interest for me to play might be 5, because I do like Sony's IPs, but I don't play them all. Some of them I can't get into. Killzone is a dope game, but for whatever reason, I just can't grasp it. Right. Infamous 2, dope game. I got them both thanks for the Blackout and PlayStation Plus, and I'm playing them, but I still haven't beat any of them because it's like a draw, and I want to finish it because I kind of got a story already. Dope games. If I had to review it, I wouldn't give it a bad score. It's just not my cup of tea. I'd do it more objectively as a general consumer buy.
Could dig that.
I don't know. Is there anything that strikes you about that?
What I like most about it is I'd rather, and this is the new console syndrome.
Right.
You got all this new technology. You got this new shiny console. You got nothing to play.
Right.
So it's almost, and I don't want to get caught out there and say I would rather.
Right.
I would like to experience the other spectrum of that.
Right.
I'll take 20 mediocre games this once to see.
Just to see what's
Just
good.
to see, I could deal with this. At least I have something to play. Versus Halo, and that's all you're gonna play.
Right.
You get what I mean? Like,
and then you always just got to bank on where the consumers are, because if the consumers, even though they're loyal to a game, right now in gaming we want to play other stuff too.
Yeah.
Which is why other games are starting to catch up, like Battlefield, in terms of versus Call of Duty. Not for military, but like people, the Call of Duty crowd is getting tired of what they're playing, and that's been a matrix for a while, and now they're starting to expand. I don't think it's just Call of Duty. I think it's happening with a lot of franchises. So the more the merrier for the gamer, and then at the end of the day, if the other stuff don't stack up to what they know, they're just gonna go right back to what they know, and everybody wins because everybody got a taste for the game to be touched.
Yeah. This is a good thing to give people choice first day.
Yeah,
I rock with that.
All right, we got like 3 fanboy questions here. Why is such and such a fanboy? We're not. It doesn't matter what you try to link us to. We're not. If you want to call us a fanboy of anything, just say fanboy games. We just have our preferences.
Yeah,
we want to play them all. The problem is, he has a life, I have a life, you should have a life too. Point blank.
Yeah, I think people like, especially like my Xbox videos.
Well,
they watch that shit and they really
and they run with that.
Yeah, like
right.
you gotta understand first of all what a fanboy is.
And fanboy ain't giving props to anything another company does. Period.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't outright say, and if I do, it's in a very jokingly manner, like fuck Sony, the PlayStation sucks. I do that because he's here, and I know he can defend it. And there's things you learn and perspectives you learn through that. But I'm not. There's a lot more to Microsoft than people know, and there's a lot more to Sony than people know.
And Nintendo.
And you can't. You get what I'm saying? You can't be locked into these things.
Right.
Like, believe me, we know a lot about what the fuck we talk about.
Right.
So we're not fanboys. Fanboys, they barely know what they're talking about, first of all.
Right.
And if they do, then they don't see the rest of the world. That's not what we are. We damn sure do defend our preferences pretty vigorously.
Yeah, it's obvious. When we play the role, it's obvious.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you've been following us from the beginning, and like you said, I defend the PlayStation because he knows I can. That's actually to educate people that's watching our videos. Because we do this all day, every day, just for the fun of it.
At work, on the phone.
Like it's nonstop.
Yeah.
And if you realize in some of the Xbox videos, some of the stuff that I'm saying, if I'm supposed to be the Sony fanboy, I'm not supposed to say that stuff in those Xbox videos.
Right.
You know, I believe in giving credit when it's due, where it's due, and because I am a consumer, I'm not gonna let any company nickel and dime me. Period.
Very true.
Period. And if you want an example of that, I would say, if it wasn't for us doing this ignorant gamers thing right now, I would not be buying a PlayStation 4 nor an Xbox until a year or two later. Like, that is the God honest truth. I wouldn't be buying any of them.
We had this conversation plenty of times.
I'm spending my money for this.
Yeah.
That's it. I can do so much more with that money. Because not only am I buying the $400 system, let's add $50 tax on there, then I'm buying 3 games out the gate. That's another $120, $135 if I don't find any deals. You think I just want to spend that money on some fucking gaming system when I know what I have in my house right now can go another 2-3 years?
Yeah. That's not from a fanboy.
So,
it's a good segue though.
Yeah.
So it looks inside?
It looks inside.
It looks inside. Wants to know, what are the first 3 games you'll be getting on the next generation consoles?
Okay.
Would you like to go first?
I'm gonna take this to the launch.
Okay.
Because I think that's easier, and you know what? I throw a bonus one in there too, down the line within the window. Mm-hmm. So for launch, I have to remove Drive Club because as a PlayStation Plus,
you get it.
Remember, we get it. Although we get a version of it, you can buy into it later. I'll still be able to experience the game out the gate, so I don't want to count that. Battlefield 4 automatically.
Skyscraper's got to come down.
Yeah, that has to happen, and I'm probably gonna have it on the console prior to that, but that has to happen. I am strongly considering one of the Ubisoft titles, but I'm definitely buying Watch Dogs. And what was
I think you're fucking crazy.
What, Watch Dogs?
Well, you're vested in it now because you've been watching it for so long.
For like 5 years.
Yeah.
For like 4 or 5 years.
I'm not going for Watch Dogs.
No?
Well, we'll go ahead.
All right. And I want to say Destiny's at launch, right?
Destiny should be launched, yeah.
I want to say Destiny, but I'm worried that my mental block will kick in for that game, and I won't.
Because of Battlefield?
Well, not even the Battlefield, because of the type of game that it is. Like,
No.
I love those type of games, but I don't want to get invested into those type of games. And I think that's gonna...
We got the Borderlands we're not even touching right now because of that.
Because of that, right, you know?
You're gonna get sucked in.
And, I'm not buying any sports games.
Fuck EA.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna take that. That's
your 3?
That's gonna be my 3.
Alright. On the PlayStation, I'm going for Drive Club. Wait, I have a PlayStation Plus.
Yeah,
Sorry.
PlayStation Plus, right?
Shit, I don't know. I'll probably get the Battlefield so I can play with you. I'm gonna just be a dick and say I'm gonna get Gran Turismo 6. I hope. Like what I think PlayStation, that's what I think. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
What else is a launch title?
There's an Infamous title.
Yes, the Infamous looks good.
There's an Infamous title.
That was to me. That was the best one Sony
Mm-hmm.
put up on the stage.
And then there's a Killzone title.
I'm going for Infamous.
Right.
And the reason I'm not going Killzone is too many shooters. So on the Xbox side,
Right.
I'm going Forza.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Destiny
Mm-hmm.
and Battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going. What was the one in Brooklyn? The Ubisoft game.
Oh, I'm not sure that's the launch.
Oh, it's not launched. Oh, okay.
That's why I'm leaving some stuff out.
Okay. Well, that if that would have been launched.
That's called The Division.
The Division.
Right. So, you know, that's my first 3 out the launch. You know, down the line, like that 1988. My mind is drawing a blank right now, but that 1880 game, you know, I want that. You know, The Division, I'm looking at that. The Crew, I'm looking at that.
The Crew looks good.
Right. You know.
So here's the problem. Completely outside of the questions related to. Here's the problem that I find is gonna have is too many shooters.
Right.
I want to get into Destiny. I don't know because Battlefield's going to be pulling me away.
Right.
I want to get into the Division, but I don't know because Forza is going to be pulling me away.
Right.
I fucking hate that.
Right.
And I can't be really good at either one.
Right.
Because I'm always jumping back and forth.
Right. I need like.
Oh, and
I need.
I don't know what we're
3 month
thinking.
Offset.
We just completely blew past. Well, I did. What's the one that these dudes are doing?
Which dude?
The Call of Duty dudes.
No, but that's not gonna be at launch.
That's not a launch?
No,
Oh, okay, all right.
That's
cool.
gonna be Q1 2014.
What is it called again?
Titanfall.
Titanfall. And is Call of Duty at launch?
Call of Duty's at launch, but
There
I'm
you
not,
go. Man,
I'm not looking at Call of Duty.
I'll probably buy it to review it.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, coming in August, they're gonna show us the multiplayer,
yeah.
which is what everyone's gonna look forward to anyway. So.
I'm gonna tell you something about Call of Duty. That's how I feel. Call of Duty is like a confidence booster. It's like an ego tripping game. Like,
American big car.
It's like walking in. You walk into a room full of ugly chicks just because. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
just because to see, like, yeah, I feel good in here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you get on Call of Duty and drop 40 kills, and you're like, yeah, I'm a fucking man. Like you got 40 kills in Call of Duty.
Right.
Does that make like I've got videos up with 80 something kills, and it's like, well, do I feel like? You know what I mean? You can be half decent in Call of Duty and completely wreck the world.
Right.
So I may get it for that reason. I don't give a shit what you say.
Right.
You know, I just want a week of that. Send my dogs after people or some shit.
Send some dogs. Was it Riley?
That's the name of the dog?
That's the name of the dog. The leader of the wolf pack is Riley.
I'm calling my dog Natron. Natron.
How do you want to know, son?
Next question.
Can you name 5 franchises that should be revived from any era?
I'm gonna have to jump in on year 5 because I'm terrible with this shit.
Okay. For me, off the bat, although it's I'm a bit scary to say this because I'm looking at the market right now for Splinter Cell, and I want to see how Splinter Cell does. But
why Splinter Cell's not dead?
It's not dead, but I can see the attention starting to go away from it. And I'm gonna say Siphon Filter.
I agree with Siphon Filter. Yeah, that's a dope one.
I'm gonna say Siphon Filter. I want to see Tenchu come back.
Tenchu. That's an old fan.
Because
that is an old fan.
Because Ninja Gaiden and Shinobi, they pinned themselves into a corner. They actually gotten away from the ninja part.
Yeah. What about what was the one on Dreamcast? The open world one. The one you hate.
Oh, Shenmue. Like, this is the era where a game like that
could thrive.
Yeah.
Untouchable.
Yeah. I fucking don't like that game.
What about Paperboy?
That'd be a nice arcade title to bring back.
Paperboy and like a Grand Theft Auto type.
Yeah, but NES would need to bring that back. Because I can't see us eating
They
that.
own it, right?
I hope so.
Okay.
I hope so.
Final Fantasy Tactics.
I mean, they never really was dead.
What? Final Fantasy?
Just Final Fantasy in
That's
general.
a good point. You're right. It was never
just like Dynasty Warriors is never really dead. They just don't know what the fuck they're doing right now.
Okay, I'll buy that. Toshinden.
Okay, I could take that. Battery into Toshinden, yeah.
That was a big one for me. I don't know. What the fuck did I used to play?
Well, you used to play Crash.
Crash Bandicoot. I love Crash.
See?
That fucking commercial where he parked outside the Nintendo office.
Yeah.
Plumber Boy, Mustache Man. that was the first commercial I ever seen where the people completely outright antagonized the competitors.
Right.
That was before the whole FedEx and UPS started mentioning it.
Yeah.
That commercial was the shit.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot.
I gotta throw my SOCOM in there. Because I really do think it's dead.
Damn.
I know. Ace Combat has been trying to make a comeback.
They've been here and there.
So I can't put them in there.
And they're still good.
They're still good.
They didn't lose the pedigree.
The market's just changed for that type of gameplay. And even the Hawks game is pretty good. I don't know if you touched that. The Hawks is actually pretty good.
Is it a demo?
Yes, It should be 2 demos out.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like there should probably be. For sports, Mutant League. The Mutant League game should come back.
Never seen it.
Mutant League Hockey, Mutant League Football. They were on Sega Genesis.
Was that the ones from the Toads? They look like Toads?
They look like fucking everything. Like there was a Skull Bones Jackson and all this other shit. Fucking fun, dope concept game that had a lot of. It was fun. They never got a part 2 of anything. They actually it was successful in a point where the game was so successful that they got a cartoon.
Dope.
And it was just called Mutant League, and it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? So they did basketball, they did everything.
That's dope. X Games. Extreme
I'll
games.
take it. You know why I take it?
I remember them shit.
You know why I take it? Because I was just watching an X Games competition 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, damn, I forgot that feeling I got when I used to watch that shit, and then when I would go play the game. You know what I mean? I watched Tony Hawk do the thing. I watched him do the 900. I watched him do that shit. Like,
it's dope.
And but boy, Lassick on his bikes and all that shit. I bought my brother to the extreme. I bought him David Mirror's BMX shit, and I was playing it more than him. You know what I mean? So I would take that too.
NFL 2K.
And if you're gonna say NFL 2K, I gotta say shout out to Konami and bring back In the Zone.
In the Zone.
I don't like the way it ended, but In the Zone, I'm telling you, a lot of stuff that's happening these days, In the Zone was already doing it.
In the Zone was solid.
Yeah. What they had on deck for their ball playing was dope. So yeah.
There you go. We just gave it like 50.
Yeah. But hit me hard. Asked, what do you guys think about the petition to change the policies on Xbox One?
Take a sip of my motherfucking coffee. First, I'd like to shout out that what's the name of that fat dude that was up there screaming on YouTube?
Oh, he's hilarious. I forgot his name.
I consider myself a fat fuck. That fat fuck gives fat fucks all around the world a bad image. Shout out to you, fat fuck.
He was trolling though.
Huh?
He be trolling. He
Pretty sure he'd be
he
trolling.
had a few good points in that video though. The one that we're talking about.
Now, this right here, like, I'm done with this. I'm over it.
Mm-hmm.
I've accepted the fact that consumers aren't ready for what this brings.
Console consumers are not ready
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say the game.
And here's again, and you see him in a different element, right? Like, I'm not calling people virgins and shit right now.
Right.
So we live in a world where the people that were complaining about this have iPods, have iPhones, where they conform to this method of digital media. Mm-hmm. They have Netflix, and it's just like, wait, as a gamer, this gaming in general is one of those categories that are always on the cutting edge of technology. Mm-hmm. So here's this phenomenon where the way things work in the gaming world is ass backwards.
Right.
So here's something cutting edge, but the way everything else around is done is ass backwards.
Right.
And people are complaining about that.
Right.
And it's sort of like, wait, remove yourself, and then you sort of like, huh? Yeah, we do sound fairly silly. Mm-hmm. And like, it's an argument I'm tired of having. And shout out to Sony, because they attacked it. They took, because consumers, something new was introduced, and they were like, and Sony went in for blood.
Right.
They capitalized.
Right.
And I still to this day feel like Sony cannibalized their stance on that too, just to get over Microsoft, which is fine.
Right.
Which is fine.
I mean,
I'm over this.
They've gotten attacks on so many different occasions at the beginning of the 8th gen that how could you be mad at them returning the favor?
Yeah.
And and my stance on it is, you know, the people complaining about the internet is on the internet complaining. They're got the loudest voice. It's like if you ever work in retail, you can have 50 great customers, and they may tell one or two people, right, how great it was when they bought something from your store or the product is. When you get one bad fucking customer,
that's the one that gets you to write up.
He gets you 50 negative referrals. 50.
And that's how it works.
And you know,
yeah.
I stand on a certain where it's funny. I walk both lines of that fucking DRM thing, because I know what it means for developers.
As a PlayStation dude,
right?
That DRM hits you hard.
Yeah,
because it protects Zipper,
and my boy Zipper would still have a job, and some of these other Sony studios that just recently went away would still have a job.
Yeah,
the publishers can get rid of developers, as we've seen with Crytek, as we've seen with THQ before they ultimately closed, as we see with Activision, everyone's killing devs. Mm-hmm. So the DRM will help with that, and there's new models that's going to help support giving them some of that money back with other stuff that we're going to cover in other videos.
Right.
So it's sad to see that, and now to have people petition to go change it back.
Yeah.
I almost feel like
go fuck yourself.
Like. It's probably the same people.
Yeah.
It's probably the same people.
That's what I'm saying. I can't see it being new people.
I feel like it's just going to be a big joke. It's going back and forth. And you guys are forcing Microsoft to look funny in the public eye.
Like, what would you do if you ran Microsoft?
Like, put like this. Me and him say, we're going to start a new fucking network. And then we telling you, nah, don't worry about it. And then we're going to say, yes, again. Are you going to fucking put you're going to invest whatever it is, a view with that after we flip-flop like that? Because we based off the consumers. Because I work retail, customers are not always right. I'm fucking sorry.
Exactly.
Because I'm a customer, and I've been in places where I heard someone, and I've been in places where I heard someone know that they're wrong, and because they're the customer,
they get what they want.
They're just going to do whatever they say because they know they're going to leave and get what they want. And I don't think that's right.
And even on the other spectrum of that, I've been in IT for 12 years.
Right.
The reason there's a technology department is because you don't know what the fuck you want or need to operate. That's why you don't get to make decisions.
Right.
And it's funny because people, they always complain, Microsoft don't listen to feedback, they don't listen to this. Now Microsoft listens to feedback because of the jackasses
they
that
publicly listen to
exactly.
feedback.
Now everyone's like, "Oh, look, Microsoft flip-flopping. What else are they going to change?" Like, is this a bad thing? So damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like it's like so unfair. Like I'm just removed from the entire thing.
Yeah.
Like it's to the point where people ask me about it, it's like you're not prepared for the conversation that we're about to have on this topic.
Right.
Because you possibly do not and cannot understand all aspects of it.
Right. Unless you're just taking what I'm going to say without any kind of
Right.
rebuke, you know?
Right. And it's crazy because that right there, forget the graphics, right?
Right.
It's a next generation console. It's supposed to have, I don't care.
Right.
Forget like all the TV shit. I don't care.
It's all functionality.
It was the digital freedom that I was getting.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I can go to Snow House and plug in my music and play it. I can go to his house and log into his console and play all of my shit.
Right.
It was a fucking kiosk.
Right.
God damn, like that. I felt like that was the only thing that made it special.
Right.
And this is why the PlayStation 4 was just like the PlayStation 3 to me. Oh, it had balls full of technology and, you know, it was powerful. But to me, it all came down like the Xbox was the Xbox Live.
Right, Xbox Live, which was... Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was less into hardcore gaming and more into online gaming.
Right.
So the Xbox Live is special to me. Mm-hmm. And now here Microsoft comes again with something a little more special. Mm-hmm. But no one wants it. But they do want it. Just not on the Xbox. And then what makes it more frustrating for me is the fact that Sony was prepared to do the same thing. If you think for one day that Sony did not have this technology lined up, it's their technology. It's theirs. Who owns Blu-ray? And like, I get it, and this is why Sony has the mind share.
This is why we have an HDDCP thing on PS3 right now. You can't even record games. At least on the Xbox, you can record games through the HDMI.
Can't do it on the PS3. So, I'm over it. Like, I don't care. It's sort of like a, why'd you go down there?
Right.
I told you, like, just leave it alone. Nah, fuck that. You go down there, get your ass beat. I don't care. I'm over it.
Leave your questions down below. We'll answer them in the next video. Shout out to everybody who sent questions in. And, yeah, we out.